Hi guys! So today we thought we would show you a little meringue recipe and I have my little helper with me.
Hi guys!
So you're going to need some sugar.
And 3 eggs, but we're only going to be using the whites.
So first thing that we're going to do is to separate the eggs. I find it's easier to just do this with the eggshell. So crack the egg in half and then move the egg from one side of the eggshell to the other so that you separate the yolk from the egg white.
Now it's really important that you don't split the egg yolk, otherwise we won't get the texture we need to whip up the egg whites.
Yes, that's right. If you get any of the egg yolk into the egg whites, you'll find that the egg whites just don't whip up and you don't get that lovely fluffy meringue that we're going for. So it's really important to make sure that you don't get any of that yolk into the egg white. Don't throw these yolks away. You can use them to make really good omelettes or something sweet like lemon curd or lemon meringue pie. So don't throw them in the bin. Keep them to one side for later. Once we've separated the egg whites, what we're going to do is pop it on a Kenwood stand mixer with a balloon whisk attachment and turn it up to high and whip it for about 4 minutes until the egg whites form stiff peaks.
Next, add the sugar little by little until it is all incorporated in the egg whites.
You want to make sure that your mixer is on a medium speed at the moment, just until all the sugar is mixed in. Once you've added it all, you can pop it back up onto high until it's formed really nice glossy peaks. We're using a Kenwood stand mixer today, but you can do the same with an electric hand whisk. It just may take a little bit longer. After about 5 minutes, you should end up with some really nice glossy meringue.
Get a piping bag ready with a large piping nozzle. We used a 1M star tip, but you can use different nozzles for different effects. Cut the end of your piping bag so that it is big enough for the nozzle to fit in.
Pop the piping nozzle into the piping bag and then fill it with meringue. We did this bit off screen because the first attempt was a little bit messy. So I tend to put my hand around the piping bag, double back the top of the piping bag and then use a spatula to scrape in the meringue into the piping bag. Give the piping bag a bit of a twist so that the meringue doesn't escape out the back of the piping bag and you are ready to pipe.
Ta-da! One filled piping bag ready to pipe meringues.
We're using a greaseproof sheet on a baking tray to pipe our meringues onto so they don't stick.
We piped a sheet of little star kisses. Touch the nozzle to the tray. Squeeze the piping bag until happy with meringue size. Then release pressure and pull up.
Try to make sure when you're piping your little star kisses that you pipe them all approximately the same size. It just means that when you're cooking them, you don't end up with the small ones being overbaked and the big ones not being done. If they're not quite done, they end up being chewy meringues. To make classic meringue kisses, use a large round nozzle with the same piping technique. For some colourful meringue kisses, you can use food colour inside the piping bag. If you paint streaks up the sides of the piping bag and then fill with your meringue, when you pipe, you'll get coloured stripes on the outside edges of your kisses.
Next up, some meringue nests. Start in the middle with the nozzle close to the tray. Gently squeeze the piping bag as you move in a circular motion until the nest is big enough.
My first attempt was not brilliant and had a few gaps, but it doesn't really matter. It's going to taste nice whether it's got any gaps or not. Continue piping nests until your sheet is full or you run out of meringue. My little helper finished piping the nests on this sheet, and she did a great job for a first attempt. It can be a little bit tricky, especially if you've got small hands, because you have to keep the top of the piping bag twisted to stop any meringue from escaping out the back of the bag, and keep a even pressure on the bag as you move the nozzle around. If you release the pressure a little bit too early, you don't get quite enough meringue on the sheet. And sometimes it's really easy for the meringue to shoot out of the end of the piping nozzle, which is what is just about to happen. But again, it doesn't matter. It's still going to taste nice when we cook it and cover it with strawberries. Keep piping until your meringue sheet is full of little nests, and then we're going to bake them.
Bake at 80 degrees centigrade for around 60 minutes. You can tell that they are ready as they pop off the greaseproof sheet easily, no sticking.
If any of them don't come off the sheet, they just need a little bit longer, so pop them back in the oven.
Perfect little meringue kisses. The best way to eat them? Of course, with some mashed up strawberries. Yum.
I think my little helper enjoyed this bit the most. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to get notifications every time a new video is posted. Bye for now.
Bye.